Abby, November.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I'm anywhere. I have had a series of unfortunate, I think Lemony Snicket wrote about that, this
Yep.
series of unfortunate crapola. And I'm currently wearing a boot and not handicapped. It is not life-threatening, I keep telling myself. This is my trusty cane. I took it on stage with me. If you checked Instagram, you saw me. I cane the audience for laughter.
So you can.
Anyway, I want to talk about my wonderful grandchildren and maybe I don't know, make you laugh, but you might have heard it. Anyway, it is so good to see everybody here. Well, most of you. Anyway, it's good to be here. I remember when I had my kids visit my grandkids, because my kids served their purpose. They gave me grandchildren, and that was my purpose. And I put them in the zoo. San Diego has a very fancy zoo. So I put my grandson, Ellie, in the zoo. He came back. They have one of the preeminent zoos in the United States. When you're at San Diego, Al, go to the zoo. You'll see all my relatives, and you'll have a good time. But they had a summer camp for kids. So I put the kid there, picked him up at the end of the day, Al, and he said, Bubby, I'm scarred for life. Well, my God, I thought, there's all kinds of pedophiles running around besides the ones that are on stage. And I said, oh my God. I said, Ellie, what happened? I said, what was going on? He said, well, today we were studying the gorillas. And the male gorilla snuck up behind the female gorilla and did it. I said, like the birds and the bees did it? He said, yes. I said, well, that's perfectly natural. They don't have a motel. They're right out there in the cage. He says, yes, Bubby, but they were smoking afterwards. And you told me smoking is a killer. And I think that's disgusting. So that was my grandson. I had to take my granddaughter for bra shopping. She was looking for a training bra. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the hell do those little things need a trainer for? There's nothing there. It's like a button. She says, well, all the girls are wearing training bras. So I took her into Macy's and I said, I'm paying for this. I'll get a bra too. So I unfurled my bra. And the girls, Sarah, I don't know about you, but my girls started flowing downward and downward. And my granddaughter's little eyes are looking down. Bubby, you're scaring me. They're so long. They're so long. So being a scientist, I said to her, well, when you get older, cartilage continues to grow. So does adipose. That's fat. And it keeps growing and growing. She said, oh, that's disgusting. That is so disgusting. I said, no, well, they're useful when they're long because I put Swifters on them and I can clean the house. In fact, I put a Swifter on my butt and I walk around the house swinging to and fro, and it's a good way to keep your house clean. Oh, my goodness. I just wanted to tell you about this brilliant granddaughter. She also told me that girls should not sleep with panties, Peter. Did you know that? You know that because your vagina can't breathe. Those of you that have a vagina. I see Bill is smiling. He's seen plenty of vagina breathing. I said, well, you see the oxygen tank in the side of the bed? That's what I keep there in case I need resuscitation, mouth to mouth, so to speak, resuscitation. And, I don't lie to these kids. They see the marks of aging. I'm in the swimming pool when it was warm enough to be in the swimming pool wearing my burqa, but he saw my legs. And the little guy, when they're 8 years old, they just call it the way they see you. And he said to me, Bill, what are those blue lines on your legs? Sarah, I was ready for them. I said, you know how I can't drive? I get lost. I had the map of San Diego tattooed on my legs. Right there where we love to go is the zoo. And then down there where we are now in the pool, that's San Diego. But down there a little further where it's warm and smelly and a lot of fun is Tijuana. Thank you very much.